Yeah, that was me. I took down a courser.
That's what the report says. Hard to believe. I'm all for one less courser in the world, but the conventional wisdom is that you run from them rather than engage them.
So why did you kill him?
Do you know anything about decoding a courser chip?
You have one of their chips? Follow me. Now.
So you answered the big question and took a pass. Dez is a hard...
Sure you won't need that? Decoding a courser chip is a very delicate operation. A million things can go wrong. The least of which is losing the do it. Fortunately, we have no idea.
If you're not here to save sense, just leave.
Hey, Dad. You need something?
Tom, our visitor here has a courser chip.
Whoa!
Any news
For
on
real?
Scarecrow?
Oh, man, it's been ages.
So, caretaker made it out. He was by the goddamn elevator. Scarecrow's gotta be alive.
Scarecrow's not on Carrington's list. Probably. And
What? Go ahead.
Right.
Spit it out.
Some ground rules.
even if he
Tom
showed up
can
now,
get you the codes, but once he's done, we can do
if he came back, it could be a double. The
Watch
Institute has
yourself
had too
outside.
much time.
Everyone
Says
talks,
Demona.
you been hitting
Made up
fielms
your
way
mind.
too
You-
hard.
We
But I got
decode
my
the
eyes
courser
open.
I'm
chip
not talking to
first,
you.
but after that, it's ours. Deal?
Fine. It's yours.
All right. Tom, make it happen.
All right, little courser chip. Let's have the circuit analyzer take a crack at you.
Watch yourself, outsider.
We're in. Chip access. Just poke the analog connectors a little. What? Oh man, don't crash. Hold it together.
Memory hiccup.
Here it comes. Encryption algorithms. All right, we're still running.
Desdemona.
Oh man.
Give Tom time.
They've added more decimals to the last
Look at
cipher.
that chip.
This is gonna be... Come on, baby. Show me that pattern. Where is it? Wait. They're using the same logarithmic function as the key generator.
Analyzing.
Pam.
Processing. Unknown human entity.
Start making some sense.
Unable to process verbal response. Preliminary adjustments to statistical models complete. Commencing introduction. I was, am, and will most likely be Pam. Predictive analytic machine.
Well, nice to meet you.
Introductory token recognized. Nice to meet you too. Unknown entity, I provide first-order approximations of the behavior.
But you didn't predict me coming.
That's correct. Caution. Biologic.
I have no use.
Agreed. Operation Query.
I'm from Vault 111, if that's what you mean.
Accessing. Vault 1. Conversation terminated. Pending
If you're not here to save Sims,
Software in.
Desdemona.
Give Tom.
Show me that sweet bass number.
He'll get that chip decoded.
Yeah, we got it. We got the code. Let me load that onto the holotape for ya.
Good work, Tom.
Hey, yeah, but I'm not sure our luck will hold up next time, Des.
Start working on the rest of the chip. And you. I'd love to work with you more. Let me know if you're interested. But to be crystal clear, if you use that data and discover anything involving the Institute, you share it with us first. Otherwise, our relationship will be in jeopardy.
You gotta be careful, man. The Institute is everywhere.
We'll file out separately after you leave. Best not to attract attention here.
you didn't see anything suspicious coming in, right?
Want to get out of here? I don't think we'd make pretty couples.
Wasn't sure I'd see you again. You managed to get what you need?
I have the code.
Suppose I shouldn't be surprised. You did get rid of Kellogg after all. Not too much of a leap to take down a courser. How'd you manage to get it decoded?
None of your damn business.
Fine. Forget I asked. Doesn't matter anyway. You're not the only one who's been busy. I did the best I could. From memory and things I've overheard through the years. Came up with some schematics for you. Wasn't easy. These hands are ridiculous. Fine motor skills have gone to shit. Here's the symbol explanation. You need to build a device that will hijack the signal the Institute uses to teleport coursers, and send you instead. You know the craziest part of the design? That classical music station. That's the carrier signal for the relay. All the data's on harmonic frequencies. You've been hearing it all along. I want to be clear that this isn't my area of expertise. I was bioscience, not engineering or advanced systems or anything.
I'm sure it'll work.
For the record, I haven't made any promises, but if you can build this device and make use of that code, you should be able to override the signal from the Institute's relay. Can you? I mean, can you build it? You have people that can help. This is a lot for one person, even you.
I got it covered.
Good, good. Because you've got to make it in there. For both our sakes. And don't you forget our agreement. I've helped you as best I can. If you make it in there, you find that serum. It's my only hope for ever being normal. So you find it. Now go on. Take these and get to work. You do whatever it takes. Call on whoever you know to help you.
By now, I'm sure you've deduced that our arrival in the Commonwealth wasn't coincidental. We're here because of a unique energy reading recorded by Paladin Dance's recon team. According to our scribes, the reading indicated a level of technology that only the Institute could achieve. The moment this information came to light, our mission became clear. The Institute, and everyone responsible for the creation of the synths, must be eliminated at all costs. To accomplish this goal, we need to locate the Institute's headquarters. I've had our scribes meticulously searching the Commonwealth, but they've come up empty-handed. The only logical explanation is that they've gone underground. That's where we need your help.
Well, guess what? This is your lucky day. I have a way inside.
The method is useless without the means to make it work. Perhaps we should pool our resources to achieve our common goal. Now, indulge me for a moment by satisfying my curiosity. Tell me why you're so eager to get into the Institute.
I think they're the ones who kidnapped my son.
The Institute preys on the weak to further their own ends. Together, we'll make them pay for their crimes. I'll call ahead and brief Proctor Ingram. Report to the airport, and get to work on your project right away.
Going into the Institute alone. Sounds like a suicide mission to me.
You got a new assignment.
Yeah, research.
Babysitting field scribe. Business.
VR duty. Why? What'd you get?
Vanguard.
You're kidding.
Yeah, they're making it to a station. I'll try to leave a couple of super mutants for you.
Angry scowls. lousy
Can't talk
haircuts.
right now. Gotta
All
clean
you
up
touch
my
is dirt and
scat off my
respect.
boots.
Treat your power armor well, and it can get you through anything.
Elder Maxon said you'd help me build the signal interceptor.
So, looks like you're calling the shots around here now, huh? All right, I'll bite. What does your new miracle device do?
The Institute uses teleportation to get in and out. This machine can hijack their signal and send me instead.
Teleportation? Molecular transmission via encrypted RF waves? Okay, even I have to admit.
It
That's
was
genius.
off.
This explains why we've been picking
It
up
was
anomalous
off.
energy readings all across the Commonwealth. Not to
Well,
mention
you
how they get
didn't.
their
Well,
tin
to be
soldiers
honest,
come
though,
out
you
of the
didn't
damn
miss
walls.
much.
And this little beauty allows you to
It was
literally
basically
hijack
me
and
ranting
return signal.
about foreshadowing
Instead of grabbing the intended
like
target, it grabs
Liberty
you instead.
Prime. Well, not Liberty Prime. Me just foreshadowing everything, explaining a theory
definitely
from
Damn
a
right I do.
Fallout fan,
It's
which I
difficult to
read
make out all the
online.
details here, but I'm thinking you can get started building
And
a
me looking
stabilized
up when was
reflector
this game
platform.
released and
It's
how
gonna
old
take a
was I
cargo
back
hold full of
then.
high-grade
I
metal,
was
but
8 years
I'm sure
old
that we have plenty
when
of
that
it
game
right
was released
here
in
at the airport.
2015, which kind of makes me feel old for some reason. So that's basically all I did: foreshadowing and long moments of
I'm
silence.
glad you can make sense of those plans.
I haven't made sense of all of it yet, but I will by the time you get the first part built. Here's a list of everything you need to find. You're also
And in
going to
those
need a
long
massive
moments of
power
silence,
source
there
to keep
was
the signal
also
interceptor running.
long moments of science itself. Even when I had the mic off, because I had to think, how old was I?
Greetings, Knight.
Oh, I was supposed to go to bloody Liberty Prime. Oh, where? Build the... Apparently I have the parts. Oh yeah, because I've been scavenging, haven't I? They call me the Wanderer. Yeah, I'm the Wanderer. Take all the junk. Now I have to build the bloody generators. Power. They call me the Wanderer. Yeah, I'll be wandering, wanderer. Da 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 da. So I completed the game in 2015. I actually
Yes.
feels
I'm ready
old.
to build the rest of it.
Good. Let's move on then. Here's a list of everything we'll need. Now I know some of that might as well be in Greek, so I'll be around if you have any questions.
Oh no worries. At least it won't be in.
Looks good, Ingram. I'll get to work right away.
I wish I had your confidence. Oh, one last thing before I forget. It's important that all the components are wired together so all the pieces are on a single grid. If you need any help, I'll be over at the build site making some adjustments and calculations. I'd wish you good luck, Knight, but I think we're both going to need it.
To be honest, I actually can't. So when I first completed the game, I was 8 years old. Just like I said, I feel old just by looking it up. Why? You think, wait, how many years has it been? Or you just think 6 years just happened? No, it doesn't. I barely remember what happened in 6 years. The only thing I remember was what happened in year 4, and most of my time in year 4 was making comics. Well, to be honest, this channel wasn't always Godzilla Gaming Studios. It was originally supposed to be called Godzilla Movie Studios, but eventually it was like, but someone already took it, so I was like, gaming, whatever. But back then it was just called Godzilla Comics. So many of you wondering, like, what was the real story of Godzilla Gaming Studios? Even though on my own wiki, yes, I even have a Wikipedia that I made up, and it's a website, but I have to update it. Anyways, I do have a website, but it has to be updated because it's just in this demo version. I have to make in it version 1.1. Water. Because, just like I said, Godzilla Gaming Studio started off as a comic. Well, it wasn't called Godzilla Gaming it wasn't called Godzilla Comics Studios or whatever. It was either called Godzilla Comics or Oliver's Comics, Treehouse. Whatever it was called, I can't remember what it called. But it was Godzilla something, or... yeah, it was Godzilla something. I can't remember. I got inspired to make comics because there was this kid in my class called Kevin. He liked to make comics. He made a comic about someone in my class named Jace.
Shit! Let's do that! What you want?
Well, apparently... wow. You're raiders and you get raided.
Thanks for helping us out. Hi.
I'm the muscle, babe. Just don't piss me off, alright?
Hi. Got the itch? I can hook you up.
Okay.
Let's see what you got. Now remember, moderation.
I need some bullets. No, you have bad ammunition. I'll take some grain. Come on, Piper. So that'll be... yes, that way. So, as we are on our Wizard of Oz journey, I might as well tell you the history of Godzilla Gaming Studios. I always wanted to be a YouTuber, and yes, and you guessed it, it happened. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna be one, or maybe should I? No, I wanna work at McDonald's when I'm older, as I said to myself. And then a kid in my class named Kevin made a comic book about someone else in my class named Jace, called JC Baby. And then it started off like that. And then then he became a superhero and all that. And it got so popular that I remember one time while doing some work in my classroom, a teacher came up and said, can I get an original copy of JC Baby? But that was like after its popularity, like when it became popular. I got inspired, and a couple of days later, or 3 more days later, you know what, let's just say a week passes, and I start making my own, called Godzilla. Godzilla vs. Zilla. Because I was becoming a Godzilla fan, so I thought, you know, the Americans really made a bad version of Godzilla. So I made my own comic. Now, the first time I've seen Godzilla was by the 2014 trailer. I was like, oh, who's he? And then a year passes, I start becoming a Godzilla fan, watching most of the films and avoiding the bad ones, even though I've watched my first bad Godzilla film, which was the American version of Godzilla. So after watching the American monstrosity, and after choosing my favourite Godzilla film ever, which is Godzilla 1984, which is called Godzilla 1985, even though it was released in 1984, but in the Western world it was 85. So, and that is my favourite movie. And then later on, I really hated the American version, because I was like, why did you remove the moral of nuclear bombs are bad, and yada yada yada, to America's military is #1, even though it isn't. China's the #1 military in manpower, not in defense budget. Yeah, and what else? Oh yeah, and it was called Godzilla vs. Zilla, and it had like a stickman version of Godzilla and a stickman version of Zilla. It was basically the way I made comics all the way to the last comic I've ever made. It was like this. So you can see the Pridwin from here. Oh, that's neat. Anyways, so the first comic was for the first, what was it? 10, 15. Yeah, for the first 15 comics, I had an A4 piece of paper. I folded it, and then on the front, or sometimes the back, the front or the back of the paper, I would write the title, but before they were thrown away, and me looking back at those comics, I had to, for some of them, I have to find the title which were at the back and reading it like it's a manga. So some of my comics, I had to read it like it was a manga. And after, so basically the comic was Godzilla vs. Zilla in a small town. Godzilla wins by by throwing Zilla on a building, and then before he even gets on the, before Zilla has the impact, he gets blown up by Godzilla's atomic breath. And after when I wrote it, I actually felt sweet revenge. I showed it to the teacher, I showed it to the class, and they were like, well done. And after my after Thief, then I even made one of my own comics at the home front. Because one day I was doing homework, I finished it, I had an A4 piece of paper, and I had two A4 pieces of paper. I folded, and this is the second this is why I call the second generation of my comic books. I get two pieces of A4 paper, I fold them, I put the second one in the middle of the first one to make it more look like a comic book. Yes, so it's like a comic book. And after creating my bloody hell, my throat is drier than ever. And I've created my second one. I even had two of my comics had my own version of each monster. You know, Hedora and Biolante, well, I mixed them together and I named it Poodadora because, first of all, I thought it was a cool name, and second of all, I was a child back then, so obviously I will name it something silly. And after that absurd name, I am it. So after creating that, I've went on to the third, what I call the third generation, which I stapled my comic books to make it more, well, you guessed it, more of a comic book. But at that time, when remember that boy Kevin, which I told you about? Well, and his first comic that inspired my, well, here's another thing that his comics were starting to get, but even though my comics are beginning to get popularity, his were getting too. So we enjoyed each other's comics, and I've enjoyed his. And yeah. So even though his comic books were getting popularity, so what was it? 7 people from my class started making spin-offs of his comic. And so yeah, so me and that kid, and that kid, Kevin, were getting popularity because of our comics. He stopped making comics as soon as we were in year 5, but I still made comics all the way up to year 6. well, there was a massive 5 months gap in between those months. So yeah, so there was like a kind of a 5 months gap. Actually no, it was a bit longer than 5 months. It was more of a 7. Yo, I'm gonna bring my power armor. So yeah, so there was a 7 months gap. So during those 7 months gap, I didn't do any comics. Then I returned making those comics, and then when I started high school, I was like, you know, I'm not gonna make any more comics. I'm gonna make videos. And then Godzilla something went from that to Godzilla Movie Studios. Why do I pronounce studios? Is that how yeah, that's how I called it, believe it or not. So Godzilla Movie Studios was born. Where I have to go to Concord just to get a suit of power armor. So it was studios. Yeah, it was Godzilla. No, it was Godzilla Movie Studios. And when I started to get a phone, a proper one, not some crappy one, made from Microsoft. No, the first video I've ever made on... When I first got a phone, the first video I've ever made was my own version of the original Godzilla 1954 film. Yeah, I should remake that. Yeah, I should remake it, why not? I mean, I have better animation now. And this is where... So yeah, so that was the first ever video, but back then Godzilla Gaming Studios wasn't a thing, believe again. And then eventually Then eventually I've got then eventually the first ever video that I've created which had the words Godzilla Gaming Studios and all of its glory was back in 2019. What was the first video? What was it? The Area 51 raid? Yeah, back then, believe it or not, 2019, I had this thing called Area 51 raid. And once I had that phone, I made myself what will happen. It feels awkward now since I'm doing this before I met Preston Garvey. Wait, where's the body? There's usually a Minuteman body, whatever. Feels weird because I did this before I met this Preston Garvey. And I'm doing this just to get power armor that's not been damaged. So yeah.
Hear that? Is that you? Found them and they do not look friendly.
Oh yeah, I'm starting to forget. Yes, so I pay no taxation without presentation. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so yeah, that was the first Godzilla gaming studio. So that was the first Godzilla gaming film ever. Well, no, because that. No, here's how I'm gonna label them. For once, I'm gonna label them pre-channel and post-channel. So the first one was pre-channel, which is the one that I told you, Godzilla 1951, my own version. And then it eventually became on. And then the post one was the Area 51 raid, which again I've told you about.
I'm coming in there, and where'd that little fucker go?
So
God damn it! I need covering fire.
oh, I thought you were a Piper for some reason. I actually thought about that, and then the only thing that I noticed that wasn't Piper was that I didn't say Piper then the commands. Because I want to tell her to move. Oh, was. Okay, Godzilla Gaming Studios was first a comic, then some homemade versions and parodies and all that to a YouTube channel.
Bingo.
General
Man,
Atomics.
I don't know who you are, but your timing's impeccable.
There we go.
Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minuteman. Maybe?
Glad to help.
Help. Nope.
Well, if that's true, we could use some more goodwill. As you can see, we're in a bit of a mess here.
I can't help you.
A month ago, there were 20.
Oh. Sounds rough.
Thanks.
One good idea.
Sturgeon.
Here's a crash
Yeah. Power arm on the roof. We've all heard it.
I like it.
Good idea.
I'll help.
How out is in the middle of a street. Already have it.
Grabbed a few.
Well, all right.
Hi.
Look, Sturgis may be big.
Right, do this. Get power armor. Do them a job. That's it. Bugger off. Bugger off back to the hospital or whatever. Build it over, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, this tells you of what happened to him, and he's looking for a sister. You can hear about him more, but you have to go to the exact location where he's going. Yeah, also I would need a minigun after all.
Up here. But we got somebody up here.
And we've got the Brotherhood of Steel. So that would mean out with me. Come on, turn the radio on. Saturday and I won't be long. It's the Death Claw. It's the Death Claw and the Brotherhood. Off the steel, should deal with this swiftly. And I've lost just a massive piece of power. Oh, that sounds glorious. Da 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 da. Da, da, da. Remember when I've done Battlefield videos? Ah. Well, not all of its enemies, but hey, we came here what we came for. Power armor. Now let's bugger off. You want a sensor module, because in that comic book place there's nothing but ghouls, so this should be easier than spreading butter on toast. And then becoming more tired. You know, after when we get that module thing, then I can go to bed, because I'm actually tired. No, sorry, I was distracted by my own thinking. Or, in real terms, I was looking up my phone to reply a text message that has been left there since the recording started 12 minutes ago. Well, I can't remember. No. Basically, a text message 12 minutes ago. Ghouls. Let's not waste our ammo on them, because something's in the mist. Something's in the mist. Another one bites the dust. And there's something in there. There's something in there. There's something in the mist. Alright, that alerted every one of them. They're everywhere. Alright, this is reminding me of the movie Aliens. Good.
Now you pay for it.
There's more where that came from. That's not all of them. There's a legendary ghoul all the way at the final level. No. If we had Ripley here from this is right. I will just shut up. Well, let's quick save it, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye and good night. I didn't say good day.